some music to him, and I keep not doing it.
Maybe get Bono to agree.
Good morning, Mid-Michigan, and welcome to another broadcast of Continuous Miracle right here on WGLM 106.3. I believe we're on 1380 AM as well today, and 101.9 Backwoods Radio. Glad you're all out here listening. Wow, what a day we're having, huh? Yeah, Mike?
And we are.
We're in the middle of it already.
Sunshine is not overwhelming for a moment.
No, and it's not February, my friend.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, been a kind of a sultry week, and I enjoy this heat. I know not everybody does, but I certainly do. And I thrive in the heat. How do you do?
I melt.
Good for you. Well, see, everybody can do something.
That's what I got to work with.
And you've been at it for a while, so you're probably pretty good at it.
Well, my sweat glands were working like a trooper this past week, so yeah, I'm pretty good at that
It's
part.
good to know everything's functioning.
Yes, sir. That's enough detail, folks.
We got Dangerous Darren again here this morning with us on the dials.
Yeah, good morning.
Thank you, sir, for being here, your service. And we've got a guest in studio with us this morning. And I think you folks will come to enjoy her a great deal here as we talk with her a little bit about her experience, strength, and hope, right here on WGLM, and in the recovery community. I know Miss Robin has been pretty active. This would be an understatement, actually. Very active in the recovery community, helping other women and men along the way with any information they may need. And, of course, her service work within the programs. And it's just been phenomenal to watch her and be a part of. Mike's quite familiar with her.
Well, yeah, and I thought that I knew a little bit about Robin, but our talking this morning, I found out that girl's been busier than heck at other things I didn't know about.
Right, you thought you were doing some stuff.
I thought, but no.
You were wrong again?
Yeah.
First time today?
Yeah. So instead of getting the heat on me, why don't you say hello to the folks this morning, Robin?
Good morning. I'm so excited to be here. You know, things I get to do today.
Yeah. Robin's the executive director at the MAC here in Greenville, and I know her a little better than a lot of people because I was the chairman of the board at the MAC when she was appointed executive director, and I've been able to see the huge number of changes that have taken place in a positive way since she's been here.
And we're all grateful for that service that she's provided, and you, matter of fact. I know you had some fun with that for a while, too.
We certainly did. But, okay, and I'll say this briefly before I turn it over to Robin. We sort of had a vision back then that the MAC could be more than what it was. Mm-hmm. And it seems as though those things have sort of worked out since you've been on board. Want to tell us a little bit about that part before we go back to what got you here?
What we're doing at the MAC with being open, we're open 9:30 to 3 every day, and a place for people to come and meet their sponsor, sponsee, or have a cup of coffee, get out of the heat, play some pool. It's a beautiful thing we didn't think would happen, and now it is happening, and the MAC is open as a drop-in center.
Nice. So what I'd really liked, now what the heck is a girl like you doing in something like that? So maybe that's what I want to find out, sort of what got you here? What were you?
What brought you to the recovery community, Robin? I mean, I'm familiar with part of your experience, but if you could share that with the audience, maybe bring them up to speed a little bit.
Yeah, I came into the program. I was sober from alcohol. It was very hard. I was miserable drunk just without the alcohol, and moved to Greenville, lived at New Leaf.
Now, where were you prior to?
Up in Munising in the UP.
I thought you were from the UP originally.
I'm originally
right?
from Holland. I just had become homeless, moved to the UP with a partner, and had to quit drinking, and came down here, and I was on Suboxone, and I fell asleep at the wheel and crashed my car. And they tested my blood. I had my Suboxone in my system, and they charged me with a DUI. And so probation brought me to AA 3 times a week, and I made the determination I wasn't going to waste an hour 3 times a week. I was going to come in and do whatever these people told me to do. And I found a gentleman there who became my mentor, and he was very adamant about me finding a sponsor, working the steps, doing the tools of recovery. And that started my journey in AA.
Wow. So you went from Holland, Michigan, to the UP, Munising, which is beautiful. I love Munising. I don't know about the rest of you, but I spent some quality time up there, and I enjoyed that.
Yeah, we lived right across from Pictured Rocks.
Oh, yeah. You can't go wrong up there. It's gorgeous.
Munising's where I spent my honeymoon.
Oh, they're dangerous.
The dog patch.
Oh, yes. They just did a remodel. It's beautiful.
Got to go to the dog patch for breakfast. Big portions and cheap prices.
So I guess those folks like us get around pretty good.
Yeah. What I remember about Munising is one time I was up there, it was almost as hot as it was last week here. I'd never seen that up there. So there's that part. But you said that you came down here sober from alcohol.
Yes.
Okay,
but landed in Greenville, right?
But you knew something about AANA before you got here, apparently.
I had tried NAAA in the UP, and it wasn't like what I experience now. It was, I would go to a meeting, and I would share something at a meeting, and before I even got home, people at home had already known what I had said at the meeting. Just gave them a telephone, and I said, I'm not doing this. AA is not for me. So
yeah,
definitely it wasn't something I probably went 2-3 times, and then I was like, I'm not doing this. So I was white knuckling it, trying to get through. I got custody of my kids back, 50-50 custody, and
That's huge.
Yeah.
Because you weren't drinking, right?
I wasn't drinking.
Right.
And that was a huge thing for me. But then, drugs came into my life, and my partner, actually, we messed around with drugs for about a year, and they ended up getting a 7-year prison sentence, and it was very scary for me. The feds were involved, and it was like a light bulb moment for me, like, what am I doing with my life? This is insanity. And I ended up taking my dog. My kids lived in Greenville majority of the time with their dad, and I said, let's go there. So I came here, lived in a hotel for about a week. Have Mercy was full at the time. I remember we ended up, it was middle of winter, and me and Coda, my dog, stayed outside Walmart for 2 nights in the middle of winter before I could get into Have Mercy. And that was probably the lowest point for me. Like, what am I doing with my life?
So your new beginning actually started in Greenville.
Yes.
After Emotional Bottom and some experimentation of Munising. And some unmanageability, was because of that experimentation. Bring the what do they call it? The lover to the law.
Liver, lover, law.
Thank you, Yeah. And you experienced a couple of those.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's not unusual in the recovery community. Not whatsoever. We are share stories over the years, and takes something pretty phenomenal to go, wow. But your experience was you tried all those things, and this is where you wound up, right? Outside of Walmart up here in Greenville.
Yeah.
And then your beginning started with Have Mercy.
Yes, and my experience with Have Mercy was an amazing experience. I went in, they told me, we have a 90-day program. This is what you need to do. I followed their steps, got in with Montcalm Care Network, started doing some therapy, filled out apartment applications. So they were very supportive. I ended up getting an apartment out in Edmore, and I started going to AA here, and I liked it, but I didn't have that connectivity yet. And so when I moved to Edmore, I didn't know enough about AA to know that there were meetings everywhere. And so when I lived in Edmore, I didn't go to meetings for about 1.5 years, and then that's when the accident happened, and I was losing my license. And God works in mysterious ways. The day I lost my license, I would have lost custody of my children because I lived in Edmore. I couldn't transport them back and forth to school in Greenville. And the day I lost my license is the day the apartment complex in Greenville called and said, hey, we have an opening for you. And so moved here, kept custody of my children. My daughter did every other week, a week at my house, a week at her dad's house. Phoenix, I have full custody of. And it's been beautiful living in Greenville. I started going to meetings again because of probation and did what I was told. Got involved in service work, which changed everything about everything.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's been an experience for a lot of people. When we start giving back in the recovery community, we don't know the rewards that are hidden out there until we make some of those discoveries on our own. Other folks can tell us about it, but they have to be our own discoveries as we come along. As we come along, and it sounds like what you've been doing, and continue to do.
I hear that I've heard it said that addiction is isolation and recovery is connection.
I love that.
And it sounds like you made some good connections.
Yes.
Well, and I also heard her mention 3 times now, I did whatever they suggested I do.
No, I think she said she did what she was told.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
They
you know,
wouldn't-
that's, voluntold. There it is. And if not, we have our own experience, maybe, and it looks a little different. Yeah.
I like that voluntold part.
Yeah.
I had a speaker meeting last night. I tried to point that out. That some of the big changes that happened to me was when I was voluntold to do something. But it usually goes something like this. They could probably use a little help over there. You want to see about getting involved in that? See what that looks like? And from time to time, for a guy like me, that means starting a new meeting somewhere or getting involved in the organizational structure, such as at the MAC. Boy, there's a big need for that. I got it. This isn't about Robin. This is about me, so hold on, folks.
Oh, here we go.
There we go. So when I got to the MAC, there was a lot of financial issues, but part of it had to do with very few people were trying to run the whole thing, and I was one of quite a few people that may have been voluntold to do something. People came out of the woodwork and from different places to help. We saw quite a flux of people come through there, and some would do this part, some would do that, but we muddled ahead, and I found that to be true with me. When I made those connections like that, there was a lot about the long term for that stuff too. I'd be doing stuff with those people helping in AA, but then we come cross paths again a little bit later, and I find out what they'd been doing. Hey, even up in Edmore, I know people that run meetings up in Edmore. I know they got AA up there.
Yeah, I know that now, too.
But, and for all of us, what I've seen is once we got involved in doing stuff, opportunities. That's how God works in my life. He gives me these opportunities. Like an apartment comes up just as I need it.
Yeah.
But it's those opportunities I learn. A lot of it comes from those people that I meet in the meetings and doing the work.
Right.
And I'm not talking so much financial, materialistic things as the ability to help people in little ways, that but sharing something.
Fruit salad?
Oh, yeah. Oh, there's some fun. I make a lot of desserts, folks.
Delicious desserts.
Yeah, and they're pretty good. But I tried something different last week or the week before. I made a fruit salad, and I scared the bejesus out of a lot of people. They didn't think I could do it.
They said, where's the damn cake?
That's what they said. But it was that volunteering and helping and doing things where I got a chance to interact with people like that. Something as simple as that. And we get a little bit of humor, and we know that we're in the same place doing a lot of the same stuff.
Right.
Yeah. And every once in a while I get a recipe too. But back to you. You got involved as the executive director, and you made some changes.
Yes.
How do you go from 15 meetings a week to, like, is there like 40 now or something like that?
Yes.
That's huge.
Yes, it's very huge. And a lot of it was just word of mouth and telling people, like, people would come to me and say, hey, I want to have an NA meeting. There needs to be an NA meeting at this time because I work. So I'd look at him and say, so start a meeting. Here's the form you fill out. Fill it out. I'll sign it. You start a meeting. And it was people coming forward and being willing to do that work.
And then her being voluntelling.
Yeah.
I see that part.
Yeah.
I know what that looks like.
Yeah, you want a meeting, start a meeting. You have to be the one doing. But my sponsees, I encourage them to do a lot of service work. So, my sponsee is the one who does the 10 a.m. NA meeting, and it's been going wonderful. That's my home group, and it's just people coming and being willing to be of service and do the next right thing.
And they receive the fruits of that service,
Mm-hmm.
don't they? In numerous ways.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it be spiritual or physical, or there's so many various ways that we benefit from trying to help other people.
Right.
And the list is endless. I mean, start with A, go to Z, go back and do it again. The benefits of being useful and helpful to other people. Speaking of that, I'm going to be helpful to you and get off the air here a minute. Darren is telling me we're going to do a little commercial break here. So come on back and join us here in a few minutes. We're so grateful you're here with us on Continuous Miracle 106.3 WGLM.
Getting over your nerves?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sound like she's hitting her stride.
You guys make it very easy.
Well, you're doing stuff that we're familiar with, like
Community focused.
telling people what
Yeah.
to do.
I know that
Summer
part.
Food service program, meet up
I'm gonna
and
grab a
eat
drink of water.
up. Free
Do
food
that.
for all community members 18 years and younger. Greenville Public Schools enrollment not required. Breakfast and lunch served at Baldwin
So we got to
Heights.
the fourth meeting.
I was gonna say, you can bring your water in here.
We'll
Yeah.
revisit it.
Served at the
You can set it up
Flat
here.
River Library.
Okay.
There, that
Yeah.
shelf next to you
Hey,
if you
you're
want to
For
be.
more information, visit the
Like
Greenville
a
Try not to
way.
spill it so we don't get
No, I won't spill it.
Okay.
Mike, don't
Again.
spill it.
You can be trusted, but I can't.
Look at me, how cute she is.
She ain't snoring yet, so she's not at peace yet, so we got to calm her down.
So we touched a little bit. We got into the 40 meetings. We want to revisit that. So make sure that folks are aware of that.
I'd really like to touch on, at some point, the kayak trip.
Yeah, feel free, and the golf tournament.
Yes.
And now, isn't international meet next week in Vancouver?
Yeah.
Or do you have the information?
I
on
don't.
that? Okay, then don't. I don't want you to guess that, and I
Yeah,
don't
no.
want to give the wrong information.
Jeff's got it. You want me to get a note from him telling about it, whatever?
So you can do it quiet.
I can, but not unobtrusive, but I can do it quiet.
Won a World Series with Pittsburgh and later a championship with the Oakland Athletics. This is SRN Sports.
It's a WGLM Weather Center update.
Mostly sunny skies for your Sunday. Chance of some late afternoon showers and breezy. A high near 90.
Yeah, we just,
Partly cloudy
the
overnight
whole
tonight. Slight
intent of the
chance of
show
showers
is just
once
to have a
again. A low
conversation,
down to
no screaming,
69.
no yelling,
Mostly
no,
Yeah.
oh
cloudy
my
for the
God
day on Monday.
moments,
Slight
you
chance
know.
of showers once
Sweet
again.
is.
A high of
love
86.
it.
Partly
Help
cloudy
people
skies
become
overnight Monday
comfortable.
night. Slight chance of showers.
You can do that, oh my God, stuff. It's
One
okay.
minute.
Oh, yeah, it's fine. We'll worry it back in.
Now, more of the music you love on WGLM.
A recovery ecosystem is an evidence-based approach that creates the environment that individuals and families need by providing all the necessary
Summer is our
tools, services, and supports for recovery
Wonderful.
to occur.
And they just got done
Cameron
saying,
FSU aims
we're
to
talking
build
on
a
our own. It's not
sustainable,
what they had to
regional
say.
Yeah.
recovery
We're
ecosystem
independent
through
operators.
collaborative
I asked him
They
anyway.
gave us
with a
permission to do
focus
whatever
on
we want.
4 populations.
Love that. I love
Veterans,
Jesse Wimmer.
homeless,
Yeah,
unhoused,
we're gonna say
pregnant,
whatever you
and
guys think
recently
is going to be
incarcerated.
most effective. You live
Visit
there.
Cameron.org
Do as you
for
damn
more
well please.
information.
This program is supported by the Health
Oh,
Resources
that's
and Services
dangerous.
15 seconds.
As part of an award totaling $1 million.
He didn't need to be
I
more
know Jesse
dangerous.
Wimmer because I'm on the board for I Am Fan as well.
Okay.
You are?
Yeah, I'm on the executive
5
board.
seconds.
Wait, we got to make mention of that, too.
Yeah, and the board for outreach and risk and
We'll touch on that.
a lot of things.
You
Third
are?
segment. What are you doing today?
Okay. You got to keep the order.
Scott back here with you on Continuous Miracle 106.3 WGLM. Just reeling Mike in here after the break.
I was out there, folks.
Yeah, he gets out there every now and again. Bring him back in the corral. That's okay. He can do that today. Why? Because
I'm sober.
and you're happy.
I'm happy, joyous, and free.
How
I
about
love
that?
that.
Do as you damn well please, sir.
Yes, I am. What pleases me today is trying to do God's will, running errands for the guy.
How about that? We got guys like that. You're one of them. Thank you for your service. But back to Robin here. She was sharing with us a little bit what brought her to the recovery community. How many? It's been a while now. What, 5, 6 years ago? You said.
About 4.5, 5 years.
5 years ago. Okay. And so you've been at this for a minute, and you've experienced some of the benefits of sobriety. And,
Oh yes.
And the service aspect of it, and the rewards that we receive, whether they be spiritual or material, or however things manifest in our lives by doing the next right thing.
Right.
And trying things differently and doing things differently. And getting different results
Mm-hmm.
on a daily basis. Today, though, with Robin, she's the executive director
Mm-hmm.
over at the MAC. And she was giving us some numbers right before the break here about how the growth in the meetings has taken place. And they've gone from how many to what are you doing? How many today?
We've gone from about 15 to we have 20 AA meetings, 21 NA meetings, and 2 Al-Anon meetings a week.
So you've tripled in size.
Yes.
Right.
We're very busy.
Right. From 15 to 40.
Yes.
So recovery is available in the community
Yes.
for all,
For everybody.
everybody. The door's always open.
Yes.
And your hour, you say you're there from 9 to 3?
Yep, 9:30 to 3 every day, Monday through Friday. And that's just open as a drop-in center for people to come.
So if somebody, and also if people want to get some information
Yep.
or ask some questions,
Mhm.
you're the right person to ask.
Come in and have
because
some coffee. I'll tell you all about it
She'll tell you all about it and what's available.
and what you can do.
Yeah. Yeah. I think she's getting the hang of this voluntelling people. I always pose in, what do you think about?
Well, when you tell me about that voluntold and those meetings, you got to have some literature for some of that stuff. You got anything to do with literature?
Yeah, I started a bottle and can drive at the MAC, and our bottles and cans buy our books and our sobriety tokens for both AA and NA. For a while, it was just for AA, and then NA was like, "Hey, what about us?" And I was like, "What? Why aren't we
Yeah,
buying
what
for
about
them?"
you?
Yeah, why aren't we? So we buy both books and key tags for NA and AA, and I sell the books. We sell the books for $8 a piece. Big book we buy for about $17, $18, and we sell it for $8. So we're not making money on the books. We just want to get books in people's hands.
You're trying to spread the solution to
Yes.
as many people. Give many people an opportunity to get a book in their hands and read it and maybe do something that's in there to make a change in their lives.
Right.
To literature-driven program, if you look at the books that we're talking about, there's clear-cut instructions for folks like me and you that get better that way. And if that literature isn't in people's hands, they're just like I was when I first got here, flying off in all sorts of different directions with no place to go that was healthy for me without that direction, clear-cut.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but with the outgrowth of the MAC, thank you, and the literature driven, that information is now being made available to so many more people.
Mm-hmm.
And the results are evident.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people getting better.
As Mike mentioned, when too long back here, that wasn't the case, but it is today. And that's why we invite anyone down to come to any meeting, it doesn't matter. And if you, of course, you have a loved one or you yourself have questions about addiction and maybe how to overcome some difficulty in your own lives, come on down there and just have a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, conversation never hurt anybody.
No. You know, now I am a certified peer recovery coach, so people can come in and ask me questions, and I can maybe help them on their journey. Maybe do a relapse prevention plan. Maybe talk to them about what their next steps are. And so, I offer that service at the MAC as well.
Right, and that's all available because, A, you've studied the literature,
Mm-hmm.
you've done the work within the literature, and you've benefited from the results of doing such.
Yes, beautiful results.
Yeah, your life is completely transformed.
It is.
It's been fun to watch.
Thank you.
So, a peer recovery coach, that means been there, done that?
Yes.
Okay, so you could guide somebody on their journey
Yes.
of what it looks like to do the things necessary to get better.
Yes.
Okay, that's the kind of advice she was offering up, folks. How she got better and how that can apply to other people's lives.
Right, you pick up a few T-shirts along the way. Yeah, I think I did that. Yeah, how about that? And that's a wonderful resource to have available in the community. I mean, Robin's providing that service for folks, so it's a resource that heretofore we hadn't experienced before, and now it's available.
Scott told me not to jump too far ahead, but I got to tell you, folks, that Robin does some other things besides the MAC. She's currently on the board of other
Yes.
organizations. But the reason I'm bringing it up now because all those things work together.
Mm-hmm.
And in the process of becoming a better informed, more active executive director, she became involved in a lot of other things.
Mm-hmm.
Could you make mention of some other things that are going on in the community? Maybe like the MAC meetings, FAN, however that stuff.
I'm on the board for I Am Fan, and
No, well, what's I Am Fan stand for? Because
Ionia Montcalm Face Addiction Now.
Okay, Ionia Montcalm Face Addiction
And
Now
we
organization.
Yep, and we are planning actually a family fun day July 26th from 9 to noon at 5649 Long Lake Road. It's going to be petting zoo. There's going to be a giant water slide. There's going to be fishing, face painting, yoga. It's just a fun free day for people that I Am Fan is planning. It's been a wonderful thing to be a part of that. I'm part of RISK.
And what's the acronym? There's a lot of acronyms in the
gosh.
recovery community.
What's RISK
Recovery Integrated Services.
of Care?
Okay.
Thank you, Mike.
Okay.
It takes everybody.
Yeah.
Mike got a half, she
Teamwork.
got a half. There we are.
Then the RISK was very influential in starting the MAC. And so it's a beautiful thing to be on that board. And they do the symposium every year. And they're going to be part of the Family Fun Day event. I'm on the board for Outreach 419, Sober Not Boring. We have Soberfest coming up September 13th. It's going to be a huge day from noon to 10. We just started selling tickets. Tickets are free, but you have to register for one. 100 tickets have already sold in 3 days. Or gotten reserved in 3 days. And it comes with a free meal ticket. So there's going to be like 5 bands there. There's going to be speakers there.
And that's a local event?
Yep, it's at the same place the Family Fun Day is, 5649 Long Lake Road in Belding.
Okay.
This is the second year for Soberfest.
See, there's so many things, and probably the general public is unaware that there's so many events going on in the area that you're all welcome to.
Free events.
Free events, and anyone can come on down. I don't know many kids or teenagers who don't like a petting zoo or don't like getting a little face paint on or going down a water slide or whatever's
You're going to catch
on.
me on the water slide that day. It's supposed to be hot.
Oh, good.
Is that the one that has a milking station?
Yep, we're going to have a fake cow with a milking station.
See,
there.
I thought it was going to be a real cow, and I wanted real animal. No, Mike, we're gonna
Mike was going to show us what he knows how to do.
milking the job, folks.
Everybody can do something. But that's all going on out here in your local community and surrounding communities. Free. That's amazing to me, how much energy, time, because I know the amount of energy and time it takes to put these events together and put them on and make them available to folks. And I think it's just phenomenal. Our friend Mike Elmer likes to mention we are resource rich
Yeah.
in the Ionia Montcalm northern Kent area that, that we can actually do some of these things as a community for everyone's benefit.
Yeah, I got to interrupt because when I got to AA, I didn't know how to do much of anything without a beer in my hand. I needed to know how to do some of these things, interact with people without a beer in my hand. And you told me that some of the Sober Not Boring and the Family Fun Day. But before the show, you told me there were some of those things going on with the MAC. You going kayaking with the gang.
Oh, I can't wait. Kayaking. It's our annual kayak trip. It is July 19th. At 10 a.m. we are meeting at Jackson's Landing. And we take the trip down to Bricker Road. There's transportation back from Bricker Road back to Jackson's Landing. Kayaks are available. You just need to get a hold of me at the MAC, and I will get a hold of Joe or John. And the MAC's number is 616-232-2002. Or email me at montcalmalano@gmail.com. We'd love for everybody to come be a part of our kayak trip. It's so much fun.
And that's all free, too. Right?
Free.
Free.
And you said you're there to answer the phone 9 till 3 every day.
9:30 to 3, yep.
I'll get it right eventually. Slow.
Still waiting.
Okay, well, there's a chance.
That's just some of the stuff that's going on, and it's phenomenal. Just if you don't have a pen, I think you can catch some of that at the MAC website, right?
Yep. MontcalmAlanoClub.com has our up-to-date meeting schedule. You can register and pay for your golf outing team. Our golf outing's coming up very soon, August 10th. It's a Sunday this year at the Links at Bowen Lake. Registration will be at 8 a.m. with tee off at 9 a.m. There's going to be a silent auction, a pizza bar lunch. So we're very excited about that.
I don't know how we're going to play this year, Mike. We're going to be on the air. Maybe we'll have to broadcast live from the golf.
Now that sounds like a good place.
How about that? Just to see, I get an idea once in a while. During the upper road trip.
To where?
The Links
Links
at
at
Bowen
Bowen.
Lake.
Yeah, right over here.
Oh. I don't know if we can do live from there, but we can.
Well, how can we get pizza if we're not there?
We can.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Mike needs to eat.
That's true.
We'll figure something out.
We'll
Okay.
figure it out. We'll get it under control.
Thanks,
Okay.
Darren.
I knew I could trust on Dave.
You do. Okay. You've been telling us what's some of the things you're on, whatever. There's something you left out.
Okay.
You told me that you were doing the recovery, back to basics.
Yes, Back to Basics at Outreach 419. It starts July 7th. Myself and Dave Holcomb will be leading that, and it is a 4-week walk through the steps program, and that's how my sponsor brought me through the steps, is the Back to Basics. And so I'm very familiar with that, and it's very dear to my heart, and I love watching people work the steps in a timely manner, then starting to sponsor somebody else to work the steps in a timely manner.
Timely manner.
Yes, quick.
Okay. That's
And
Like
often.
they used to do.
That-
Yep.
That's what AA does, is works the steps, and it's what people do if they're still drinking or if they're not drinking. You go through that process to keep track of what you're doing, and it works for somebody it works better if you're not drinking, but it works for somebody that's still drinking.
Good point.
Yeah, and it works for people afterwards. But really, what the steps is just a way of looking at myself and seeing, do I want to keep doing that stuff? Yeah, and I wouldn't.
Well, if you find yourself in recovery meeting, the answer's pretty obvious generally.
Well, now wait a minute. I was in
Okay.
denial back then. I wasn't one of you folks, and that judge was all wrong about why I was there.
Sure you was. I remember. Yeah.
So I needed to be around folks that could help educate me. The judge tried, but I wasn't listening to him. But
You ever, judges are busy people.
yes, sir. He didn't have a lot of
He didn't
time
have
to
a lot
listen.
of time to educate Mike.
Yeah,
He
but he knew where to
voluntold-
send me.
He voluntold you what to do.
Yeah, go see them folks in AA. I didn't. But anyway, when I first got there,
Going on for a while.
I didn't want to do the stuff because I didn't admit that I was one of those folks.
Okay.
And I needed to listen to. I need to hear it from the people that had actually done something about it. When I could identify people that had been in the same spot I was. I got something to say, Darren. Don't put us on break yet.
Oh no, go ahead. Keep going.
But I needed to hear those people tell me stuff so that I could get it soaked into my head, because I was in such denial about what was going on. And until I found somebody or a few people that were like had my kind of a story, I didn't believe there was any hope for me in that sort of thing. I thought it was all nonsense.
Yeah, we were suspect as well.
About me or the whole
Yeah, about you.
Okay.
You know what changed my recovery is I came in and I was taught the tools of recovery, and they're super simple. It's prayer in the morning, abstain from alcohol, get to a meeting, use your telephone, read your literature, talk to your sponsor, do some service work, and prayer again at night. And my mentor taught me that right away, and that's still my routine every day. I have times by them, and I pray at 7. I go to a meeting at noon. In the afternoons when I use my telephone. Evening is when I talk to my sponsor. I read the literature after I get off work. And then prayer again about 8:30, 9 o'clock when I go to bed. And I've worked the steps and had the life change and spiritual awakening. But the tools of recovery are really what changed my life and gave me a routine to live by.
Wait a minute. Doing something different?
Yes, way different.
Okay.
Consistently.
Consistently. Okay. And then, as a peer recovery coach, what do you have to share with people? Is that what you get to share?
Yes.
What worked for her? And I found that to be the really important thing. I heard people tell me what worked for them. Even though at first I didn't believe it, I heard it. And that's what I needed to make a difference in my world.
And I think it's action. You know, I didn't
Wait
know.
a minute. You sound like him.
I didn't know the tools of recovery would change my life the way they did. I just knew I was told to do it. And so, and it requires action. You know, service is on there. So I do service every day in some form or another.
Well, when we started in the beginning, if we're willing, there's helpful suggestions and people to point these things out to us all around us in this community. But we'll be right back, talk a little more about that after Dangerous takes us out on a break here. So come on back and join us right here on Continuous Miracle 106.3 WGLF.
You didn't tell them about our website.
I'm getting there.
Come on.
And phone calls.
Oh, yeah. To give them hell, Darren.
I can't give up on the phone, but okay, I'll tell them. What's the number? Oh, 106.3.
What would you like to touch on?
Yep. Take us out.
You know, in recovery, I think the biggest thing that's come back to me is by making a living amends to my family. I have family now in my life, and grandchildren that I didn't have the opportunity to know before, and it's a very beautiful thing.
Yeah, that's what we want to talk. The growth in your personal life.
Yeah.
We've heard enough about risk in 419, that's great. But what we want to talk about now is
That's Blues Deluxe, Saturdays and Sundays at 9
Because
p.m.
your
on AM
philosophy has,
106.3.
spiritual, becoming more spiritual.
Yeah.
You want to touch on Pride Fest and inclusion.
Yeah.
I don't know how to bring that out for you, I guess. That's why I spoke with like I did earlier
Yeah.
about the inclusion
Yeah,
thing.
Plus
also offers discounts on consumer loans and
Got a lot
access to
going on
almost
out there.
40,000
Yeah.
fee-free
Yeah, seriously.
bypass ATMs. So when
You
you're
look
ready
around
for
some of the other
Merck is
communities,
here.
there.
Learn more at
Let's have a hot dog
merckbank.com/Merck
sale, I don't know.
member FDIC. It's
You
been
know?
a
Come on down for some beans and weens.
Yeah, in this area, you offer real recovery.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've had that. What you said about the tools of recovery
You'll find the
was
same great
huge.
selection and service, but they could be
You
found.
said a lot of good things.
Thank you, Mike.
More information coming soon.
Thank you
on
for the
latest and
reminders,
greatest upgrades.
website.
And
Yeah, no
premium
This
guests
guy
and
is
2
always
seasons
harassing me about action. What are you doing? And he didn't bring it up yet, but you did. That's freaking amazing. You beat him to the punch.
Whenever I call him on the phone, he answers. I say, what are you doing?
Sometimes it's not much right now, but I was hell on wheels a minute ago.
That's okay. Rust in between.
Central Michigan. Millards has an unbeatable selection. Sales, service, selection. You'll find it all in downtown Stanton. Millards Furniture. It just makes more sense.
At Vogue
Part
Home
of what I
Furnishings
have been
and Building, we
encouraged
know
to
the
do
couch
was
isn't just for
start
movie
meetings.
nights.
I didn't say I
I've
hated
done
your
it,
mother.
and
I said she's
I would have to say
big
we have,
difference.
but we started meetings, and he went to work, and I stayed.
Hey,
How's
arguments
that?
happen. That's why
But
our
it's
sofas
a
are built for
group
comfort,
joint effort.
durability,
Yep,
and I do what I can when I can, where I can.
Emotional timeout.
I still have to work.
You know what?
I'm fine, right here. The couch is nice.
Retirement's coming someday, then you could be down to a slow schedule like me.
Did I tell you about the job offer I got?
Not yet.
Work from home.
As a what? Really? Yeah, you might work way into late in the...
I wasn't looking for this job. It came to me.
Well,
Kind of like that light that came on this morning in the basement when I was talking about
Mom, I said hi.
okay, so today he's in his chair at the meeting, and I can't remember just what he said, but he was talking about God, active, busy life, stuff like
1 minute.
and a light that hadn't been working just right up there, just about 4 foot from him, come on, just bathed the whole room in light.
And I said, that's what I'm talking about. It happens.
When props show up, he uses them.
I recognize it. I told him I pay attention. You should be too. You ready?
The music you love.
No, but this is fire away anyway. That's what we get.
Did you know that Central Michigan
I'll fire
Recovery
away.
and Education
30
Network at
seconds.
Fair State University
Why are you
works
taking
in the
pictures like
community
that?
to
Yeah.
help veterans,
I have to show that to
homeless,
Cara to
pregnant, and
teach her how to
recently
build the brakes
incarcerated to
properly.
maintain
When I
Okay.
came in yesterday, everything was all
for more information.
jumbled into one brake. I'm like, I can't do it that way.
It was
we
carved up.
take 2 brakes.
Card it up.
She carded it up.
We're gonna blame Cara. It could be Jim.
One of them, it ain't us.
Tell her to stay off the damn board. She's fun too.
Yeah. Me and John were on the radio recently.
Oh, okay.
First show?
No,
Dillinger.
Dillinger.
Oh, Scott back there. Yeah.
Caught you off
Yeah,
guard.
you did. Dangerous Darren's throwing his fingers around. I better pay attention. We're back here with you on Continuous Miracle 106.3 WGLM. Want to make mention real quick before we get back into this. Our website, continuousmiracle.net. All previously recorded shows are up there. You can view them at your leisure. Also, you can leave a note there for Mike or myself, or if you'd like to communicate here with any of the guests, please leave a note and we can make that happen. Also, we're on Facebook Live. Good morning, Facebook friends out there. Glad you're here. And you can view that anytime on Facebook or on WGLM 106.3. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's up on that webpage as well. And we are also on YouTube. And when will that be coming up on YouTube?
That'll be sometime in the next week. I got a busy week coming up.
Okay, whenever Dangerous Darren splashes up on YouTube, you can find us there too.
What's your Facebook name?
Continuous Miracle Radio.
Perfect.
Continuous Miracle Radio on Facebook. Punch that in and we should pop right up, right?
Yep.
That's what okay, good.
Yep.
So we're getting out there thanks to you and thanks to Simran. And making this available to as many people as so needed, I suppose. What a gift. What a blessing to be able to do such a thing. Yeah. And we're grateful for the opportunity, I think, as you all know. Also, anyone ever want to call in, feel free to call in at 616-754-1063. It's kind of fun to watch Darren get on this phone every now and again. He gets to grabbing and punching other buttons, and it's fun to watch. So go ahead and call and put him to work. But back to Robin here, what we were talking about a little bit before we went to break. Mike had a couple more questions for her.
Oh, I did, didn't I?
Yeah.
That's what you told me. I don't know.
Well, what we wanted to know was what do you see as the future for the MAC? Well, actually, it should be about you, but you're involved in so many things. You maybe start what you see as a future for the MAC, or wait, you've already mentioned the trips, the things you're doing, kayak and all. Have we gone through that for you?
Right. So what we want to talk about more about is her personal experience at this point.
Oh, you a grandma?
I am a
A
grandma.
lot of things happen in 5 years, short period of time in recovery for those who apply some of the things that they learn along the way. And she's had some wonderful experiences in her life, whereas I'll let her tell you about it, though. I'm familiar with it.
Well, I had definitely burned some major bridges with my family. Gotten 2/5 in, got in a huge fight with my mom and my dad, and told them terrible things and blocked them for 6 years. Didn't talk to them, didn't speak to them. So when I worked the steps, I made my amends, and my mentor said, "Start calling your mother." I'm like, "Why would I call my mother?" And he's like, "Well, how does she respond when you call?" I say, she answers the phone and says, "What's wrong? What happened?" There's no hello. So I started calling my mom every other day and making a living amends. They live in Holland, an hour away, so she could hear through what I'm doing every day what a change it made. And now I call my mom, and she's like, "Hey, Birdie." It's a beautiful thing. Being a grandma, or Yaya is my grandma name, and it's my favorite thing too. I have a 10-month-old granddaughter, a 4-year-old grandson, and spending time with them is so enriching. It melts my little grandma heart. You
got a big heart.
I have a big heart, but when you hear Yaya, it's like, yes, I'm here. Hi, what can I do for you?
Where'd you learn that?
Recovery.
Yeah.
And last weekend I went to my sister's house. She has a pool, and I asked my daughter-in-law, like, "Can I just keep my grandson for the weekend?" And she's like, "Yeah, sure, go ahead." And
wow,
that would have never happened before. There was no, "Are you going to be drinking? Who's going to be there? What's going on?" It was literally, "Sure."
Well, those are good questions asked previously, but
yeah,
today,
previously
because of those living amends you've
yes.
made over the last 5 years, and the example set by living differently.
So
None
differently.
of that's an issue today in your life, right?
Never. But it's a daily reprieve that we get.
Yeah.
Based on
spiritual condition.
Oh, that's why the tools of the recovery are so important.
Yes.
Think about how much relief that brings your daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So much.
Mom's back. Or Yaya.
Yaya's back. And it's been so fulfilling. And even with my children, a couple of years ago, I'd go to church and I'd pray for my children to come to church with me or get saved. And even my son was so adamant against all of that. And I started slowly showing the light of my higher power in my home. Both my children today are saved and baptized. It's been so amazing to bring the AA and NA program home and be the best mom I can be.
That's what we call a miracle around here.
Yes, sir.
Such a miracle.
And it materialized in your life in real time.
Mm-hmm.
And it continues a day at a time.
One day at a time.
Mm.
I can do anything for 24 hours. Continuous with the help of my higher power.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And those are some, Robin's one of the local stories I hear that we get to bear witness to with our own eyes. We've seen all this for the last 5 years or so. And, it should warm your heart. I know it does mine, and a lot of other folks too.
Is that available to all?
Everybody.
What?
Yeah, that's available to everybody.
Oh, you mean I'm not excluded just because I have a... Wait a minute, where were you at yesterday?
I was at Pride. I frickin' love Pride. I went there and had a table. They called us and invited us to come. They thought it was very important that the MAC was represented at this event. It was the first annual Greenville Pride event in McCarthy Park, and I shared a table with Outreach 419. We gave out some t-shirts and some sweatshirts, a lot of bracelets with our website on it, a lot of schedules, talked to a lot of people, and celebrated a lot of recovery. A lot of people come and be like, "Oh my gosh, I'm 8 months sober." Some girl came up and she was 10 days sober.
Hooray.
Yeah, I gave her my phone number and call and text anytime, come to the MAC anytime. It was very fulfilling, but we want to include everybody.
Wait a minute. Inclusive, not exclusive?
Inclusive, very inclusive.
Available to all.
All.
That's freaking amazing.
Doesn't happen everywhere, but it happens in recovery.
Yeah, so a bit ago I pointed out that addiction is isolation and recovery is connectivity.
Yes.
Thanks for helping people get connected to recovery. Thanks for your efforts.
My pleasure.
And reaching out into the community.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and saying, we're here. You want to do something different? We're here.
Yeah, we're here. And
Change your life.
change my life.
We're here.
Yeah,
Or
July
not.
July
Yeah.
15, I'll have 8 years clean, and it's
Wow.
like what a miracle that is. What a miracle! Every day I wake up like, I used to wake up like, God, why do I have to do this life again? I don't want to be here. And today I wake up with gratitude in my heart, and oh, what a beautiful day, and possibilities are endless, and I do my readings right away, and I know that I have a great start to the day as long as I ask for a day of sobriety and thank him again at night. And those actions have changed how I even get out of bed.
Yeah. My friend David J. liked to say, well, you got a chance.
Oh, when I was saying my prayers this morning, I thanked him for the chance for today.
Yeah.
I said that I got a chance. I love that.
Yeah. You got a chance, got a choice today.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have a choice when I got here.
No, not a lot of people do. Not a lot of people do when they first come into recovery.
A lot of people don't understand. I wasn't drinking out of choice at the end.
Yeah.
I was drinking
Physical
because I had
addiction.
to.
Physical addiction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's not pleasant.
No.
But when you come in here, we show you things. Sometimes we can show you some things that are a little different and maybe help alleviate some of that stuff. Find a different way.
I'm grateful for it.
And I don't know, a little more. You get any skinned up along the way? Or you been okay?
I've been okay. The stuff I do today doesn't hurt near as bad as the stuff I did.
Well, other than that driving business, but we don't do anything about driving in recovery. That's all right.
Well, they tell me if I wanted to, I could work on that, but I haven't quite got to that point yet.
Well, you got a chance.
Still got a chance. But really, this is about recovery and opportunity that's been afforded to Robin that she's affording to other people now. I like that. 10 days sober, you got her number.
Mm-hmm.
You think she might need a little help, a little direction?
Yes, and I'm hoping to see her at a meeting very soon.
You gonna tell her about the tools of recovery?
Yes, very soon into the program.
Oh, good.
Sooner the better, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was the best thing I was ever voluntold.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
But you had to be willing to do it.
Yes.
I can be voluntold all day, but if I'm not willing to do something, nothing's probably going to change.
Right.
As they told me, get a bucket of willingness. Come on, join us. It's going to be interesting, and it has been.
Were you lucky there?
Yeah, it was a spider. Ooh.
It don't bother me a bit. I don't know. I had a bald eagle in my front yard on the ground. this
Oh,
morning
beautiful.
At sunrise, so I think I'm doing okay. And a couple of deer in the front yard.
It's a little different than a spider hanging in front of you, but
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, none of it seems to bother me. yeah. Life's pretty good today. Thank you. Thanks, God. Thank you to God.
Yeah.
For all of it, because none of that stuff would have materialized in my life. That's a fact. And all of it has. And that's a miracle.
Yeah.
And that's what we learn to live and do here in the recovery community. And it's available to all who might be having some difficulty in their life and want to try something different.
You got a quick line you'd like to throw it to folks? Tell them to come see Robin or whatever.
Yeah. Come see me at the MAC, 9:30 to 3, Monday through Friday. Call me, 616-232-2002. That's the MAC's phone number. Or email me at the Montcalm Alano Club at gmail.com with any questions. Also, our Facebook is the MAC, Montcalm Alano Club, and you can message me there.
Wow.
Well, I remember when she said she could help
Right.
almost a year ago, whatever it was. That's a lot of help. Thank you, young lady. Thanks for showing up.
Kind of help.
My pleasure.
And you said get out of her way. Remember that?
I did. Oh, yeah. I was right then, too. Wasn't
Yes,
I?
sir.
Occasionally, I get this stuff right, every now and again.
Yeah, that's one in a row. Maybe you can add to it.
I don't know. I'll keep swinging.
There you go.
Got a chance.
Yeah.
Hey, can I give a shout out real quick to somebody?
Darren,
My-
you're on the dials. You can do whatever you
Yeah,
like.
my friend Raina just celebrated 4 years of sobriety yesterday.
Yes.
Hey, Raina.
Raina, wow.
Yes.
Thank you. 4 years. What a miracle.
Yeah, normally they ask, how did you do that? But probably one day at a time, wasn't it?
Yes.
Nice.
Is that still going on?
Still.
Yeah.
You mean I got a chance today, and maybe if I did what I do tomorrow, a pretty good chance staying sober?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Sounds pretty simple.
It's a beautiful life.
It is.
Well, I learned that at
And my
AA.
life gets immeasurably better along the way. I don't think that stuff hurts. I think it's actually a miracle, and it's wonderful, and it's available to each and every one of you. Hey, I want to thank you. Darren's telling me we're about ready to go here. Come on back and join us again on Continuous Miracle next Sunday at 11. We will be here on July 5th because that's what we do. We suit up, we show up, and we'd like to hear from you. So hit us up on Facebook or the website, and we'll be talking soon. Thank you again so much. Scott out on Continuous Miracle.
Thanks. Oh, that was
you.
wonderful, young lady.
Did I do okay?
You did
You did
exceptional.
great. Come back and join us again
Thank you
anytime.
for the opportunity.
You're loved.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Yes.
And there's nothing you can do about it.
I love that. Thank you, Darren.
Yeah, you're welcome. Nice to
He's
meet
pretty
you.
good at what he does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fantastic.
I do the best I can.